Greetings and salutations to you. My name is Featherhoof.
And this is CarnagePanda.
And welcome to Anime Talk for summer of 2024. For those who may be seasoned vets of the channel, you may remember Panda and I used to do this way back when. Back before things became difficult to do things like this.
Yes, I believe we were in the middle of this, maybe. I don't remember if we were doing this, but we were definitely recording a video game called Dragon's Round. And we never finished that because of things happening.
Yes. Actually, I think were we in the middle of an anime season when we had to stop? Or were we planning the next one?
I think we could have been, but it's been like 4 or 5 years now, and that's unfortunate.
It is. So we're back to do it again. We have a new format. We have a new way of doing things this time around. But for those who weren't here, let's break it down for what we do here. Panda and I, we get together. He goes out. He finds us the anime of the season. And
yes.
The ones that, that really speak to him. And then he shows me, and I go, not that one. Not that one. Okay, that one. But not that one.
He's just making this all up. I actually forced him to watch everything, and he's like, oh, okay.
And then when we can't come to a consensus on a certain one, we have a physical challenge that we have to go through to see who can get to the end and capture the flag first. And
this physical challenge happens exactly like it did in the final Star Wars movie, Episode 9, where they have battles that are across the galaxy. They're not even in the same room, so yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly how it works out. And this time, well, we had 5 that we were going to do, but we had two got ruled. What happened with those, Panda?
Yeah, so I think 5 is a little much. It's just too much. We get to talking sometimes, and we just don't stop talking, and that ends up to being really long episodes. So I think this time we're just going to cut it down to 3.
See, we're doing it for you. So we're going to go ahead. Oh,
well, no, I think we're doing it for your sake. At least in this first episode.
So yeah, we're going to have some growing pains as we not only ease back on into this, but ease into the new format. So yeah, but we do have 3 anime that spoke to us, and we're going to give our impressions of their first episode. So without any further ado, let's jump right on into the first show we're going to talk about. First anime we watched this season was named My Dear Friend Nokotan. This came highly suggested by Panda. He thought that it would be a hoot for us to watch this. Why is that? Why is that, Panda? Why is it so amazingly funny that we watched an anime about a girl who's part deer?
It has nothing to do with the girl. So we live in a place, and I don't know what place we live in. Do you, Featherhoof?
No. I'm completely absent from the world around me.
Yeah, so we live in a place that has deer like many other places, and we kind of have this inside joke that, well, it's probably horrible of me, but I will completely own that. Deer come out at night, and they get in the road, and then cars hit the deer. And it
whose car hits the deers?
Well, it's everybody's, but you and another friend have had a lot of deer-related accidents, and every time you say that, I will just post this. Like I found it on the interwebs, but it's like this really buff-looking male deer, and I just post this every time, and the responses are always, "Fuck you! You're a horrible person." So.
Because he is. Look. I know we're supposed to be talking about an anime, but I'm serious. These aren't accidents. They seek me. They tried to kill me.
Okay, so I was in the car when one of these happened, and with a different friend of ours, and he hit this deer back in 2019, and
the deer hit him.
Well, Actually, yes, it did. It did actually. So he tried to. Well, he couldn't avoid it. He was going 70 miles per hour down the highway, and it had a fucking divider in it too, a concrete divider. You know those things.
Yes.
This deer jumped over that and then started galloping on our side of the road, and he couldn't avoid it. By the time we saw it, the headlights are on it, and I was drinking a bottle of water. And the brand of the bottle of water, because I just picked it up as a convenience store, was coincidentally. Can you guess what it is, Featherhoof? Do you know your bottled water brands?
Is it Deer Park?
It was Deer Park.
God damn it!
I'm sipping out of this bottle of water, and I just look up and I see it in the headlights, and I'm like, I don't take a sip of it at that point. I'm like, it's happening, and so 70 miles per hour. See this deer is just jogging alongside of our car, and it decides to jump over onto the hood. And unavoidable accident. He hits this deer, and it slides up onto the windshield. And I'm like, oh, God, that's coming through, isn't it? But fortunately, it doesn't. And, I felt bad for him because he had a nice car. And I got out, like a few seconds later, and I looked at the front of his car, and I'm like, it's totaled. It's done. And so the deer body is still in the road, by the way. This is not the end of it.
Oh God, the story's keeps going?
This is not the end of it. There are more cars on the road. This deer body is in the middle of the road. A minute later, another car comes down and hits this deer. And I just see this thing explode into bloody chunks. And I'm like, well, that's the sight for tonight. And so... we called 911 to get rescued and everything, and they sent down the people that clean up the road, and I imagine that's a wonderful job that you have to go down the road and just pick up bloody chunks of deer and stuff every night. But yeah, that's exactly why I chose this show.
Yes, that was it. It had nothing to do with the fact that about a year ago, across a 12-month span, I got attacked by 4 deer.
It was 4? Damn.
It was 4.
I think I only remember one of them. This is like a yearly occurrence for you too.
Pretty much. So yeah, now we're that out of the way. That premise out of the way, because it just so you all know how horrible of a person Panda is. We're watching My Dear Friend Nokotan.
I saw this a couple months ago, and I was like, I have to. I can't help myself. But yeah, I'm just gonna read this straight from the Moon Runes right now. This is My Dear Friend Nokotan, but in Japanese it is Shikanoko Noko. Is that another Koshi Tantan? So yeah, it's this really weird phrase in there, I guess. If that's like a tongue twister.
A little bit.
So, I guess we'll just get right into this. We got a few notes to go over here. This is done by Wit Studio. Other animes they have done are Attack on Titan. Right. We've watched all 3 of these together. Attack on Titan, The Ancient Magus Bride. We never got to season 2 on that. They did Fate Grand Order, but I don't think we watched that one together. The one we watched was Fate Grand Order Absolute whatever, blah, blah, Babylonia. And that's the one we watched.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They picked this up because they are complete madmen like me. Now, the director is Masahiko Uta. And he did Gabriel Dropout, which is another show we watched in. This is one of the reasons I picked this up, is because I was looking for a comedy, because our other 2 shows are going to get heavy in the drama. And I wanted some levity into this, and for him to call me an asshole. But I did many times. we watched Gabriel Dropout, and I was hoping this is going to be a show like Excel Saga, Gabriel Dropout, Joshing Chan, Dropkick on My Devil, which are all hilarious. Another one is I'm going to plug this one. It's Psyche Kuso no Sainon. Probably my favorite comedies out there, and I'm hoping this gets up there. It's a little weird.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. The music is done by Yasuhiro Misawa, who has done Idolmaster Shiny Colors and Gabriel Dropouts, both of which I cannot remember the music for at all. Nothing about that jumps out about me. Now, to be fair, it's been some years since we've watched Gabriel Dropout, so my memory on that is a little fuzzy.
Oh, I had to look it up to remember it. So I mean,
yeah, it's been a while since we've watched that, so I remember it was funny, but I just I've watched so much stuff between then and now that stuff has just become a blur in my mind, and I don't remember it. And I was not really that great of a fan of Idolmaster Shiny Colors. Now the first two Idolmasters are actually goated anime, but the longer they keep going on with those, they're just not as good. That's just my opinion, though.
Okay.
And the character designs are done by Sujimura Ayumu, and this is the first show they've done character designs for.
Okay. Now, did they design the characters or the deer? Because those are two very different designs.
Yeah, so one of the things that stands out is that those deer are definitely CG.
And the way you're seeing it in the background right now, that is not an exaggeration. That's what they look like.
I have a question, though. Are these deer really there, or are they just like a figment of the imagination? Are they just delusions?
That is an excellent question. They never showed anyone interacting with these deer, but they're there in the classroom when Nokotan first shows up in school. They're there when the main kid. What's the blonde-haired character's name again?
I have no idea. This is one of my problems with shows is that the names don't register for me for like a couple episodes. We were talking about this before we got into it, but I didn't notice that the names do have things to do with the animals. They're characters that are not introduced yet. I guess we should add that we're both going into this blind.
Yes.
So,
hold on. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Toriko is her name.
Oh, okay. So,
Toriko. I mean, Nokotan gives her like a cutesy nickname. It's like Coco Shitan or something like that. Or I can't remember. It was weird, but her name is Toriko.
Yeah. She keeps calling her Yankee, which is just I don't know why they do this over in Japan. Because
Well, I thought she was called. Well, at least the subtitle said delinquent.
Well, yeah, this is what I'm about to say. Yankee over in Japan means delinquent, and it means something completely different here in the land of freedom, America.
Yeah.
They also do that with the word bitch. It's another loan word, but it means slut over there, and that's not the way we use it over here.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have some interesting usage of words. Also, comment.
Oh, okay.
I also wanted to comment that Nokotan is a childish kind of name because Ton is just the childish way a kid would say the what are they called, honorific Chan, because they're not very good. You know how little kids just mispronounce words.
Yeah.
I can't think of an example in English right now. Well,
like
actually,
Paschetti?
my nieces and nephews would say elevator, but they wouldn't get the order of the letters right. They would say evelator. So
Yeah.
I always say that in like my playthroughs or something is like, oh, we're getting on the evelator.
So, like I said, like Paschetti instead of spaghetti. And stuff like that.
Yeah. they just kind of flub it.
Now, we've been talking about this show for about 7 minutes now. We've been getting into the nitty gritty of the directors and the writers and stuff like that. Do you want to know why we're doing that? Because we usually get into a plot summary right about now.
Yeah.
Can we? It's what can we describe about this show's in air quotes that you can't see plot?
This is just absurd. Yeah, there's a lot of fourth wall breaks, and I really only took one note about all three of these shows the entire time, and it's because I just didn't understand why they kept bringing it up. But this is just really, really absurd, and the way they're directing it and everything really reinforces that. Like when she comes into the classroom, she can't go into the classroom like a normal person. I'm gonna relate this you played the Final Fantasy Legend 2, right? Did you?
No.
Did you? You didn't get around to that one?
Only the first one.
Okay, so in the opening scene, the dad to the main character, whatever race you choose or whatever class, is like, yeah, I'm going to search for this stuff and goodbye. And he leaves. He leaves through the window. So, yeah, she tries to enter, but her antlers or whatever, they also point out that, is it only male deer that have antlers?
Yeah.
But she shows up and goes through the door, but since her antlers are too wide to fit through the door, it just breaks the concrete and everything. And
this is possibly my favorite scene of the episode. I love this scene so hard.
They have this slow motion cut going on, and I said that this reminds me of Golden Kamuy, which is a fantastic show or manga. It's based off the manga, but there is this scene in Golden Kamuy where they get somebody gets their tongues. It's like, don't lick the pole when it's winter outside because you'll get your tongue stuck to the pole situation. Right. And that's exactly what happens. And they're like, well, how do we solve this? Well, we need something warm to pour on it. And the only thing they have that is warm to pour on it is this one guy's urine. So he pees on them. He pees on them, but the way this scene is shown is that everybody, this pee is just all over the place, by the way. And everybody just has these great big smiles, like they're enjoying this. It's like the best thing ever. And that's what's happening in this scene. You have these kids sitting at their desks, and these chunks of rock are flying out the wall. And they're hitting them in the face, and they're hitting them so hard that it's just causing them to bleed all over the place. And they're like, oh, this is so wonderful.
It's so funny because you've seen those videos. You had to have seen those videos where they always slow down when a person gets punched in the face, and you see every ripple of it.
Yeah,
it's like an anime interpretation of those with just chunks of rock smacking their forehead. But the things, they're all like, like they got these big smiles on their faces, and it's so. And it's weird that the show has the most backwards reactions to everything for absurdity's sake, because everyone's just happy about being smacked in the face with chunks of concrete, like wall, plaster, concrete, whatever it is. But the moment they talk about the main character being a delinquent, she's like, I'll call you Miss Delinquent, and they're all like, oh, what the like they all get just freaking the hell out.
Yeah, the classic delinquent is kind of like from River City Ransom. They dress up in those outfits and they just sit around the school and bully people. So delinquents are not highly looked upon, if you will. I'm hoping this is a good comedy. Now, I do hope this differentiates itself from, say, Joshin-chan, because in Joshin-chan, all of the characters are trash bags. They have trash dumpster tier personalities, and it's incredibly mean spirited about its jokes, but still funny. But I'm just hoping this is a little different.
Well, if I think that the first episode gives us hope for that, because I don't think, like, it's weird, it's strange, but there's nothing like inherently mean-spirited about any of it. But there are some jokes that are, it's like, what?
Yeah, so I took exactly one note about all of these shows, and this is because I didn't understand what they were bringing this up for, and it fell flat for me. Is that they kept calling the main character, the one girl, a virgin, and bringing that up, and apparently she is, and it's a great point of consternation. But I was like, I just don't care. Is that the way you felt about it?
For me, it's like it fell flat for me, because and I get what they were trying to do. They're trying to do their absurdism, because like everyone freaks out over this knowledge, but it didn't go anywhere, or like really didn't add to the joke. It's just like, and here's an aside, she's also a virgin. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything you could do with that. Like, I don't think there's any delivery, or it's just the joke itself. It's not funny.
Yeah, I mean, the joke about her keep calling her Miss Delinquent is funny because that's the thing she's trying to hide. That's they go into her past about it a little bit in the front of the episode, and how she wants to turn her life. She's trying to go down the straight and narrow. She's trying to better herself. And here's this dear girl going to fuck it up, by just spilling her beans. But then also she's a virgin. It's like, what?
It's like, okay, who cares? I hope they don't keep bringing this up, because it's already fallen flat for us in the first episode. So it's just gonna be like, well, you know what? I'm not even gonna bring it up if they do it in the next episodes. I'm just gonna skip over it and be like, it was in the episode, but I'm not gonna talk about it.
So yeah, I think in summation, I think for this first episode, I have high hopes. I truly do want to keep watching this. It's absurdism for the sake of absurdism.
Yeah.
But I just like, and again, I don't want to beat a dead deer on this one, but it's just, I hope that the jokes going forward, there's less of the whole virgin stuff, because it's more stuff that's relevant to actually the characters.
Okay, this is a 2.5 dimensional seduction. I'm going to open up this one with stating that the word seduction, if you see the kanji there, do you see the kanji, Featherhoof?
I see it, yes.
That is pronounced yuwaku, which means seduction in Japanese. Now, this is one of the things about Japanese that really confuse people, and they're like, what are you talking about? But if you see above it, there is the hiragana, and that's how it's actually pronounced. It's not pronounced yuwaku, it's pronounced rirasa. That's what those characters are. So this is not 2.5 dimensional seduction. This is 2.5 dimensional rirasa. So this suggests that rirasa is the one doing the seduction. I will just say, well, how do I want to phrase it? Make of that what you will.
Okay.
Have your own interpretation, I guess. This is done by Studio JC Staff, which has done Food Wars, the Rail Deck series, which is comprised of a certain scientific railgun and a certain magical index. This has a thing about the science in church, so it's a really long series if you're ever going to get into it. I'm pointing these ones out because they might be relevant, and I think that JC Staff might be the right studio, even though there's some changes that have been made in this anime. They also did Psyche Kuso, which I plugged in the last one, and Shakugan no Shauna, Burning Eyed Shauna. So, yeah, the director is Hideki Okamoto, who did Bakugan, not what was the other one that we're talking about?
Shut. I don't know why.
Let
I
it
heard
rip.
Bakugan. Yeah, the Beyblade for some reason.
Beyblade, yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't entirely wrong. They're both anime about pushing toys, so that's why I got confused.
They're toy commercials. So, and he also did Minaria Friends, which is a spin-off of what is it, Shigeki no Barometer or something like that. But that's it's a slice of life Yuri show, which has just some insane production quality on it, and it's also a short. So he's done those. I've not watched Bakugan, but I have watched Minaria Friends. I don't know if you've watched either of those.
No.
The music is done by Hiroaki Susumi, who has done Dr. Stone and Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay, so there's things. Finally, Edward, all these animes you've listed going, at the beginning of this, you finally said two. I know what they are. Thank you.
Yes. So Dr. Stone definitely has some good music, and there was a piece in here that I actually liked. It was when she was changing. I don't know the name of the piece though, so Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm not going to talk about that because I would just be like, oh, this is lobotomy Kaisen and blah, 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 blah. This is all the stuff that it does wrong. But yeah, I'm just going to move on from there.
Fun.
No, I'm not going to bring that up. The character designs are done by Tomoyuki Shitaya. It had a sub-character designer as well, and I think I got a little confused on that. Why they need two. Oh, you know what? I think I know, but I'm not going to say right now. I'm not going to say.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it's the same reason you were thinking of, but when they were watching the anime, versus, when they're in the anime watching an anime, that looked like it was.
That could be another reason too, because that. It had this little sequence in the opening, which was probably the best animated part of the entire show, even though it does have some, I'd say, very good animation. But there was one part where I was confused, like, why would you put that many frames in him just rolling around on the ground? But that's just a complaint I have about anime sometimes. It's like, why is this part right here so well animated? This doesn't make any sense to me. I said a Tellurizer, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, he did Thighs the anime. I don't think anybody could argue that's why people like that. Now the next one is Kiss Cross Sis.
I don't know that one.
And this one is heavy with the Alabama themes.
Oh. Ew.
You couldn't get that from the title?
I was hoping that it's not what my brain was going towards.
It's exactly as it is written. And they also did Food Wars. All ecchi, I guess. I guess if you want to call Ryza ecchi, but I guess that has actual plot and not just plot.
I didn't even know it was an anime until we got together to watch stuff and you brought that up.
Yeah, it's based off of a video game. Yeah. It had its own anime, and I don't remember how many episodes it got, but it got an anime, and it's got 3 games because people like thighs. Don't deny it, man.
Hey, there's a reason Chun-Li is in every Street Fighter, so.
I'm going to start off with saying that this is a very do not judge the book by its cover show.
And yeah, I'm going to echo that because okay. Let me put it this way. You're more open to the how do I put this? the more sexual nature of anime. Is that fair to say than I am?
Okay, so I'll say this. You could either go read manga or comic books or whatever and look at it there, or you could look at porn. Now, in both cases, you're just going to be looking at fake titties.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this does have those sorts of elements, but it looks like they've scaled this back in the anime because, spoiler alert, I have read the manga. I am current on the manga, and I have been shilling this for years. And that's why I say... Yes. That's why I say this is a do not judge the book by its cover. You might say just look at it and be like, oh, that's just a titty show. I'm not going to watch that. But it's a lot deeper than the cover appearance might make you believe.
But it's also a perk.
I'm not going to touch that one. You set that up so easily, but I'm not going to touch it.
Damn it! I thought I was going to get in with it. Shit. So, what is this though? Because I mean, I'll be honest. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt pretty fucking hard, dude. Because you're like, it gets better. Don't judge by the cover. It gets really deep themes. It's not just about, ass and titties. There's a thing going on here, but there's a lot of this episode that it's just like I'm sitting there squirming in my seat, just like, oh, I'm really getting kind of skeeved a bit.
Okay, so yeah, it does have plenty of fan service in it. So the best way I like to explain this is that I did make a picture, but I'm not going to use it because I didn't find a good psychology book for it. But this actually goes into themes of psychology, especially for the characters. They all have things that they need to get beyond. And another theme in this is photography. Mm-hmm. I'll bring it up later. I'm not going to go into it right now, but one of the photographers that this really heavily covers, and I believe that this guy, the mangaka, the writer of this story, has read the book because it just shines like it's just so obvious to me when I look at it. But there was a photographer in the 20th century. He's retired. I'm not sure if he's dead, but his name is Henri Cartier-Bresson. He's from France. So, of course, every single letter is unpronounced, and it's like, well, there's more letters in this name than is actually pronounced. So, yeah. I'll get into that more when it becomes more and more relevant because, well, actually, as I'm looking there, the anime logo is a little bit different than the manga logo. That's interesting because the decimal point in the manga logo is a camera.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of meaning in the title, and like I said, psychology. But there's a little Playboy in it as well, or whatever, penthouse, blah blah blah. But it's how you use it and the why of it being used. If you understand what I'm saying. It's hard for me to explain without just putting spoilers out there.
Right. And I don't know how you guys feel about spoilers. I mean, I want to give him like I said, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he can't, it's like, so I got to watch it. So
it is a slow burn, but it gets into there, and the later stuff has really emotional moments that are just gut punches, and it's like, oh, this is so. It'll just get you in the feels.
So we have an extreme otaku who's sworn off all real girls.
Yeah, they do give you the reason why right in the first episode, but
they do. But it doesn't make some of the things he says and some of the things he thinks like any less cringeworthy, though. It's like you have an excuse for it, but it doesn't make it like any less. Ugh.
I'll give you that, but I'll also say, I know you don't like this show, but Seinfeld, hugely popular.
It was.
But all the characters are complete dumps. They have complete dumpster fire personalities.
True.
And they just caused so many problems. But it was a super popular show, and like I said earlier when we were covering my dear friend Nokotan, another show we enjoyed was Dropkick on My Devil. They're also very trash bag characters and mean spirited.
True,
but it's still a funny show. So
true, yeah. And we have I'm okay. So the other character, it starts with an R. She had him call something with an R. It's actually in the title. Would you say that part up there was the title?
Ririsa.
Ririsa. Yeah, she has him call her Ririsa. They both love the same character, but she wants to be like a what's she say, like a romantic cosplay of that character or something.
So they changed things from the manga to the anime, and I think a few things were lost. I did tell Featherhoof that the first 3 chapters are not my favorite, but I do understand the setup that they're doing. This covers the first 3 chapters, and they do cut out a little bit of characterization of Lilith here, because she wants to be that girl that turns people's heads, that they say, oh, she's gorgeous and she's sexy and all that. But when you look at her, she's a girl that wears glasses, and she's kind of plain looking, if you will.
Yeah.
Which is a hard argument to make because she's an anime character, and most anime characters are just like 10 out of 10s right out the box.
So but it's a weird setup of 2 characters that with like different interests, but they like connect over this character that they both are like all obsessed with.
Yeah, there's this so this does run in it's not Weekly Shonen Jump itself. But it is in I believe it's the online magazine only. But I can't remember what it's called. It's like Jump Plus.
Okay.
They have a lot more stuff, because in the Weekly Shonen Jump they only put like 15 or so manga per week, and it's really competitive. It's the most popular magazine for manga out there. It's either Weekly Shonen Jump or Wall Street Journal, as people sometimes confuse it. But yeah, this isn't the online portion. There have been other manga like this. Like I said, this is the anime is very toned down, that have run in the Weekly Shonen Jump main magazine.
Okay.
So this is very toned down and sanitized. The manga itself does have full frontal nudity, but
okay. So then, if you want to reverse engineer that statement, out in this. Yeah, I was just saying, for those listening, if you want to reverse engineer that statement, if you're going into this anime expecting what you saw in the manga, you're not exactly getting all that.
Now, this could be good, because adaptations are not necessarily meant for the fans of it. It's just like, oh, there's this whole other market that we could tap.
Yeah.
Make of that what you will.
So, I mean, just after watching the first episode, I'm going to be honest. I'm still skeptical.
He's skeptical.
But I do see I can see the makings of what you're talking about. I can see how they're going to be, diving into something a little more intellectual, not just entirely based on, skin and oops, sexy moments.
The writer does have something to say about all of this. He has themes and stuff that he touches on, and it will get into that. I'm not going to say what, because, spoilers. It's very, very difficult for me to sell this without putting spoilers out there, which sucks. It really sucks.
Well, let's be honest about what it is. For a lot of dudes, just seeing it, they're already going to just look at it and go, "Oops, already sold."
That's very true,
Oops, what? Oops, why have I already bought this? When did that happen?
Very, very true.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where future weeks take us.
Yeah. I'm very excited about this because I'm a huge fan of the manga.
All right, moving on then.
The third and final show that we're covering is Oshi no Ko. And
Season 2.
Featherhoof did not watch the first season because he's special.
I did. Okay, look. We've talked about this. Well, maybe not on any show or live or anything like that. But when we were sitting down to decide the anime for that season that it came out, the trailer, like the synopsis and stuff like that we read were very misleading.
That's true. It's like Monica Magica. I'll also defend this because I've done this sometimes. Like, I read A Song of Ice and Fire. You know what the first book I read in that one is?
What?
The fifth book.
Okay.
I just skipped to the fifth book, and I think this sometimes helps because, with long running things, it just gives me an idea of if I'm reading the prose, how good is this? And I came away from after I'd read it, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And so I haven't read any of the other books for that.
So you're going to be getting two very different perspectives here. My perspective as someone who's never seen the first season versus Panda's perspective.
So I've also read the manga for this and am current on this. I'm going to try to keep myself down and not talk about anything because the spoilers with this are rampant. If you have avoided them, you are one of the lucky ones.
They're out there in just en masse, are they?
Yeah, if you talk to somebody and they have read up to current chapters, just prepare yourself. You're probably going to get attacked.
Lovely.
And I'm not going to say which nation is going to attack you. So this is done by Studio Doga Kobo. They did the first season of this.
Is it the Salt Nation?
That's the nation you'll be in as soon as you hear the attack from the nation that is attacking you.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
They've done How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift?
Loved it.
A common theme that has come throughout these other episodes for these other shows. They also did Gabriel Dropout.
that person's getting work.
And they also did Plastic Memories, which is a really good drama that I watched, and it is a gut punch. It is an absolute gut punch. If you want to cry, go watch that. The director is Daisuke Hiramaki. The only show I've watched of his is Selection Project, and you know what? I'll save that for the characters. I'll save what I'm going to say about that for the character designer.
Okay.
Music is done by Takuro Iga, like the Iga and Koga clans. He also did Selection Project, and I often confuse this with another idol show, so I may not even know what I'm talking about, but I think this is a show about a girl that has health issues and she wants to be an idol, but since she's frail, it's hard for her to do this.
Damn it, I was just about to interrupt to make a joke. It's like, a girl who has, and I was going to say hip dysplasia?
No, she's frail, so she doesn't have the constitution for doing it for a long time. But I could be conflating this with another one. I think it's like Idly Pride. No, I'm exactly right, because Idly Pride is about the dead people. So, okay. I don't really remember the music about that. So I'll just move on.
Okay.
The character designer. Now, this one's actually a heavyweight. This is Kana Hirayama. She has done the character designs for Rent-A-Girlfriend, which is unfortunate because Rent-A-Girlfriend actually entered the phrase cuck genjutsu into the English lexicon. Don't ask.
I'm sorry. What? Okay, good.
Don't
I won't
ask.
Okay.
Do not
all right.
fucking ask. They never got to this in the anime adaptation, and if they do, the Salt Nation will be attacking. Because the Salt Nation definitely attacked when they got to chapter 218 of the manga. My thoughts on Rent a Girlfriend is a complete trash manga, and it's unfortunate that she had to work on that. But on the other end, her character designs are so good. And she actually does a lot of work on key animation. And there is like this key animator to director pipeline. So I will not be surprised if at some point we see her as a director.
All right. I mean, if it's anything, if Oshinoko is anything to go off of, the character designs in here are extremely beautiful.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts? I want to get your thoughts first.
Now, you tried to get me up to speed. Because here's the thing, I don't really know, I know the bare basics of season 1. But it's still hard for me to relate to any of these characters yet. The only thing I'm really rooting for, or digging into, is that this whole episode just shows their careers as these actors for a stage play of a manga. And it's interesting watching them putting forth the life of what it's like to be an actor of that caliber. But when it comes to like the main character, what's the main dude? I can't remember his name. Aqua. Yeah, and he's sitting here just being Sasuke-ing over in the corner over there.
That's one way to put it.
That's the only way I can put it, because I don't really know what's led him to this point yet. But standalone as an episode, I'm watching what's happening there. I'm like intrigued in what's going on. I just don't have any of the context.
I mean, that's understandable because you didn't watch the first season and you're just jumping in blind and you don't know what's going on. I picked this because there were 2 classes I took in university, and one of them was general psychology. The reason I took that is because I was a huge fan of Xenogears and a Xenosaga, and those are huge themes within those games, and I wanted to know more about it. Now, on that point, I'm going to bring this up because I did not read the material that week, but the week I came in, we were doing the material on Freud. Now, I had not read the material at that point, and I go in listening to the lecture, and she's doing the 5 stages of Freud's theory or whatever, and they don't use Freud now because they don't think he's very serious. And after she gets to like the 2nd or 3rd phase, I'm just like, this motherfucker's not serious, is he? So most everything in Freud's 5 steps is something related to sexuality. You have like the what's it, the latent phase, the anal phase, and that's what made me go, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But, she's like, we don't use him. The only thing that he really came up that they use is the idea of the subconscious. But he was just like traveling around with his assistants, and his assistant, which is a woman, and they think he was maybe just trolling. So, yeah, the father of modern psychoanalysis, useful for subconscious, but anal phase. Now, the other class I took was theater, and I took this class because, you have to get all your requirements for your credits and stuff, and I was looking at it, and one of them is art. And I was like, I don't want to do art. I really don't want to do art. And I was like, is there anything else I could do that would fill that credit? And theater fills that credit. So I took theater class. and that was actually a pretty fun class. I loved it. I got to go in and help build the set, and our final exams were the students getting together and writing our own plays. They were like 5-minute plays, but we did 5-minute plays, and I actually ended up doing the lights because I was trying to do the acting, and the lights on the stage are just so bright, and I have blue eyes, and one of the things with blue eyes is that they're a lot more sensitive to daylight, so it hurts, but you have better night vision for whatever reason. So I made the mistake of glancing up just a little teeny bit too far, and those stage lights are really fucking bright. So I was like, you know what? I want to control the lights. So I did the lights for the final exam. Yeah.
Okay. Just a quick aside. We're almost at an hour, so.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say about this. I'll come in with more in future episodes.
Well, I know you wanted to talk about the stage tape or something to that effect, or.
Do I now?
I don't know.
Oh well, I'll just attach that to my theater talk because that's in theater as well. And it's really interesting to see this because they have things like when they're doing the rehearsals in there, you can see the blocking tape on the floor. And if you don't know what blocking is, it's like where you have to stand, where the furniture is going to be placed, if there's any such thing like a table or something like that, where you have to be to be inside the lights so that they have you in the light so that people can actually see you. So yeah, this is kind of core for me because, I did the Lord of the Rings when I bought the special editions, and that really ruined everything for me. But theater class brought it back in for me. Anything else to add?
I'll be honest. Okay, hold on. Let me try that again. Hold on. Damn it! I can't start with Yeah. For me, however, I want to say. Okay, I want to see more. But I know that there's a sister. She's right there next to me on your screen. We never saw anything. I don't think. Did we see anything of her in the first episode?
Yeah, we did. They do a little flashback where she's at their mother's grave because she got shankified in the first season. I don't know. Maybe you had your eyes closed.
It's possible.
They did a little thing there where she was like talking about it, and
never mind. I do remember now. Okay,
what her and Aqua were doing. Her idol group is starting to get some steam, and he's going off and getting these acting gigs,
which she doesn't want to do.
Well, his whole thing is he wants to be a doctor because he was a doctor in his past life. But he actually wanted to be a surgeon, but he got derailed by his grandmother or whatever, who told him, you should be an OBGYN, and that's why he's even in this story is because their mother went to go see him back in episode 1 because she got pregnant at 15 or whatever, and he's the OBGYN that she went and seen, and then he picked up the idiot ball and got killed and got they both got reincarnated because the sister Ruby is a patient that he was seeing in his internship at that same hospital before he became a doctor. So yeah, they knew each other, but they don't know each other in this life.
All right, well, hey, I now understand why Oshinoko, at least season 1 was, met with as much acclaim as it was. Even though when I for a while there, I was so confused. I'm like, on that synopsis, why? But so I'm interested to see where this goes. I can't wait to see where the subsequent weeks take us. But yeah, I think that's all we got to say on that.
Yeah.
So that's it for week 1 of summer 2024. 3 anime we're going to be watching. We got 2 bits that are going to be pretty heavy, 1 to give us some amount of levity. If you're watching these, let us know how you felt about episode 1 down in the comment below of these anime. If you have anything to add, anything you want to, if you agree or disagree with anything we've said here, please let us know. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Take care. If you enjoyed what you saw, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all the next time.
Bye-bye.